I woke up at 3:17 a.m. with my heart trying to claw its way out of my chest, staring into the black ceiling like it might swallow me whole. And I whispered the words I never thought I'd say out loud. I just cut my own father off, and I'm still bleeding from the place where he used to live inside me. That single click changed everything, and I don't know if I'll ever feel whole again. My name is Marcus, 37. I spend my days in the operating room putting people under, keeping them suspended between life and death with nothing but gas and steady hands. On paper, I'm a success story, the kid from a dead-end neighborhood who clawed his way through medical school and residency, while everyone else stayed behind. But success has a price. I'm buried under six-figure debt, a house payment that never sleeps, and two small children who look at me like I'm supposed to be their superhero. My wife, Lena, is a trauma nurse. She sees broken people every shift, and she's been warning me for years that I was becoming one of them. My family never saw me as Marcus the man. They saw me as Marcus the lifeline. My father, Raymond, loud, proud, retired steelworker with calloused hands and an even harder heart. My mother, Elena, who smoothed every sharp edge with silence and forced smiles. My younger brother, Tyler, the eternal dreamer who jumped from one big idea to the next, always landing on someone else's wallet. And his wife, always quick with the sad stories and bigger asks. I was the one who got out, the one who made it, and somehow that made me the family bank. It started with small things that felt harmless until they didn't. A quick cosign here, just this once there, but there was always this look in my father's eyes when he asked, like he already knew I wouldn't say no. Like he owned a piece of me I hadn't signed away yet. Then came the truck. I was walking to my car after a 14-hour shift, scrubs still damp with sweat, when my phone rang. Raymond's voice rolled through like thunder wrapped in velvet. Son, I found a perfect rig. Lifted diesel, all the chrome. Bank's being difficult because of some old bills. Just need your name on it. You won't feel a thing. I'll handle every payment. $2,900 a month. I hesitated. Lena looked at me across the kitchen that night and said softly, "You keep giving pieces of yourself away until there's nothing left for us." But the guilt won. I signed. 18 months later, I had quietly paid over $50,000 on a truck I had never sat in, never driven, never even seen in person. Every time I confronted him, the excuses came smooth as oil. Paperwork glitch. I'll fix it. You make that in 2 shifts anyway. I stayed silent. I delayed our family vacation. I watched my own kids wear hand-me-down coats while the interest on my student loans kept growing. Then came the holidays. Raymond called me during a break between surgeries, voice booming with excitement. "We're doing Christmas right this year. Whole family, big house, the works. Inflation's crazy, but you're the doctor. You can carry it. Family looks out for family, right?" Lena warned me again in the dark of our bedroom. "One day you're going to light yourself on fire just to keep them warm, and they'll complain about the smoke." I set a limit. They blew past it like it was nothing. Luxury catering, flights, expensive gifts for Tyler's kids, the latest gadgets. My own son got a $25 gift card and a pair of my father's old work boots that still smelled like grease and regret. My daughter held them up and whispered, "Daddy, they smell like sadness." I smiled through the whole night, while Raymond bragged to everyone how he'd given the family a real Christmas. Something inside me went dangerously quiet that evening. I couldn't breathe anymore. The weight was crushing my ribs. Every yes I'd ever given felt like another scar. I was teaching my children that love is measured by how much you can bleed for people who only call when they need something. I was done bleeding for ghosts who never showed up when I needed them. On January 3rd, between 2 cases, I opened the banking app with shaking fingers and canceled the autopay with 1 tap. 2 weeks later, the storm hit. Missed calls, furious voicemails, then my father's voice exploding through the phone. "What the hell did you do?" I answered, voice flat and cold as steel. "I stopped paying for a truck I never wanted. I stopped paying for Christmas my own kids barely got scraps from. I stopped being your ATM." The real betrayal wasn't the money. It wasn't even the truck. The real betrayal was the moment my mother called later that night, voice cracking with tears. "How can you do this to your own blood? Tyler's kids are asking why Uncle Marcus doesn't love them anymore." And in that instant, the truth slammed into me like a scalpel to the chest. They never loved me. They loved what I could provide. Every time I gave in, I was training my own children to believe their worth was something that could be drained. Now, the late notices pile up. My credit will take the hit. Maybe the truck gets repossessed. I don't care anymore. Lena and I are finally protecting our own little world. Our kids, our peace, the oxygen we almost lost. But some nights I still lie awake wondering, is blood really thicker than self-respect? Thicker than fairness? Thicker than the quiet dignity of finally saying enough? If it were you, if your family only reached for you when they needed to squeeze something out, would you have cut the cord? Would you have finally chosen yourself? Tell me in the comments. Because some mornings, I still don't know if I'm the villain in their story, or just the first one brave enough to stop volunteering to bleed.